What's up guys, my name's Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 weapons to find in the Warmind DLC. These are the weapons that you definitely want to go out and get. A lot of people are overwhelmed like, hey, what do I do? What's going on? What are these weapons? Is there something I'm missing? This is going to be showing you the top 10 weapons that I've seen in the Warmind DLC, as well as the weapons that were updated, the exotic weapons updated for this DLC. Things like the Graviton Lance. I'm not saying it's in here, but it's definitely in here, as well as a couple of honorable mentions at the end. And if there's a weapon that I missed that was really nice, like you think the Vanguard hand cannon is really nice, it's not on this list, but a buddy of mine seems to think that it's really good, let me know. I want to know what's good weapons so I can track those suckers down. And don't worry guys, I'm not going to start this video by asking you to like the video. Honestly, this is going to be one of those plug-free videos which have been brought to you by Puppies and Glory. Get yours today. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Coming in at number 10 is going to be the Kalos sniper rifle. Now this weapon, what makes it so very nice is firstly, Seraph rounds. It can bounce and over-penetrate targets, so collaterals are definitely a thing. But secondarily, it is box breathing. Aiming this weapon without firing for a brief moment grants bonus range and precision damage while it remains zoomed. So pacing out your shots, aiming for a little second, you can get extra damage, which is really nice to have. Coming in at number 9 is going to be the exotic auto rifle known as Hardlight. This got an exotic update recently with the Warmind DLC. It's got things like 100 aim assistant, 100 recoil direction, which means just straight up and down, very easily to control, 600 RPM. It has it's high impact. It has bounce shots and ricochet. It does double damage off a ricochet. But what makes this weapon very nice is the fact that it can switch damage types just by doing the reload thing that the Borealis can. Now the reason why this is so important is in things with the new update to the Nightfall scoring card, you can accomplish things like match game, which is a 1x multiplier to your multiplier, which is the highest by far. I think the second highest is at like 0.45. This is an incredibly critical thing to have in pretty much all Nightfalls that you want to have a high score on. And if you don't know what match game is, if you don't do the right damage type to the shield, which is basically got to do purple to purple, you're going to have significantly less damage. So Hard Light basically says, hey, whatever type of you damn thing you have, I got a switch for you. I got something for you. And also has no range damage drop off, so you can actually use this weapon at an incredible amount of range against enemies. So even if the enemies have lots of shield and they're surrounded by teammates, you can just open them up. Coming up at number 8 is gonna be the Kibu AR3 Legendary Auto Rifle. I always thought this one was called the Caribou. I always call it the Caribou because it looks like caribou. Basics behind this weapon is a 450 auto rifle with Dragonfly. Not a lot of auto rifles have Dragonfly, but this weapon has Dragonfly, and Dragonfly is precision enemy shot kills is explosion. It's awesome. I love Dragonfly, very useful. Usually it's on scout rifles and hand cannons, but to see it on an auto rifle is very nice. You can get it from Anna Bray in her stock with tokens, or for finishing the first mission. That was one of her options. You can just pick it up. If you have a second character, go through her first mission and you can pick this one up immediately. Coming in at number 7 is the exotic submachine gun known as the Huckleberry. Now what makes this weapon so very nice, it's not the fact that it has high impact frame, it's not the fact that it has 37 magazine or it's a 750 SMG, is the fact that the longer you hold the trigger down, you're gonna start to fire faster and control your recoil, and kills with this weapon reload a portion of the magazine. And on top of that, you also have Rampage. So you're getting kills, you're getting Rampage back. You can stack it up to 3 times to do even more Rampage damage. You're getting ammo back into the magazine after getting kills and getting more Rampage. It's an absolute tank. This weapon can just be found from random exotic engrams in the world. Coming up next at number 6 in this countdown is gonna be Racsos Claymore. I mispronounce the name of this every single time. It's a legendary pulse rifle that can be found in the glory rank of Fabled. So if you guys have to go into competitive and get the 4th rank up, which is actually relatively difficult to do, especially with all the sweaties these days. Now what makes this weapon so very nice is the fact that it is a high impact frame, which makes it a 340 fire rate. It has things like Outlaw, where precision kills decrease the reload time. And then finally, Desperado means reloading while Outlaw is active increases your fire rate, and it increases it to an incredible degree that's very similar to a 540 pulse rifle. So you have the damage from a high impact frame and the fire rate of a 540 pulse rifle. This is insane. And it definitely seems like something that's going to tear up the Crucible, but also it's going to be a very exclusive weapon. If you want the exclusive weapons to be added to your inventory of weapons, you gotta go go out and get Racsos Claymore. Speaking of Glory Hagen weapons, next up is Imminent Storm Legendary Submachine Gun. I'm pretty sure this is just rank 1 of Glory, perhaps it's rank 2. It's going to be that submachine gun with a high impact frame, or I guess it's aggressive frame technically, but it's high damage, high recoil, which can be easily controlled by things like high fire grip, which makes it so you have better stability and accuracy when firing from the hip. And on top of that, the recoil direction is just 95, so it's basically just straight up, very controllable. If you want to control the stability more, you have steady rounds option. If you want to go better for reloading, to reload faster in PvP, go for flared magwell. This weapon definitely seems like something PvP would be very, very effective against. Coming up at number 4, my personal favorite, the Marine Legendary Pulse Rifle. Yet again, another Glory weapon. I think this is at rank 3 on the Glory list, or perhaps it's in Valor. I can't particularly remember, but it's definitely in the list of Shaq's things, so go take a look. Please correct me in the comments. Now, what makes this weapon so very nice is not only the fact that it has adaptive frame, it's a 390 pulse rifle, which is the higher fire rates, not the highest. Very similar to the inaugural dress archetype and fire rate, but what makes this so very nice is Head Seeker. Body shots landed with this weapon increase precision damage for a short time. And if you're like me, I aim at the upper torso with pulse rifles, so I can get 2 shots into the head, and it is very effective at landing a body shot, then getting Head Seeker and landing extra headshot damage. That's awesome. That's amazing. Seems like it would be very amazing in both PvE as well as the Crucible. This is one of those weapons that I cannot wait to get my hands on, as well as the fact that I personally just love pulse rifles in general. Now that we've got the scum out of the way, coming up at the top 3 weapons you gotta check out. I'm gonna give you a hint, they're all exotics. They're all amazing exotics. Coming up number 3 is going to be the Graviton Exotic Pulse Rifle. Now, this weapon is taking the PvP by storm. The Crucible has been crowded with these things. I don't think I've seen a Crucible game yet without a Graviton Lance or perhaps a Vigilance Wing. Now, what makes this weapon so very nice is that second shot that it fires in the 2 bursts does incredible amounts of damage. It also has no damage fall off whatsoever, so it's a scout rifle distance of range, and if you kill an enemy, it spawns void projectiles that seek on nearby enemies. And lastly, this weapon can 3-burst headshot. You land all those shots in the head, this weapon will 3-burst. If you land 2 in the body, 1 in the head, the enemy will have like 5 to 10 health. If your teammates just shoot him like once with like anything, he'll die. This weapon is insane and very useful to use, and its stability is 100. So you basically should just treat this as a scout rifle, because both shots are pretty much going directly at the same spot. And who doesn't like a 3-shot headshot scout rifle? Coming in at number 2 is a weapon that was on the number 1 worst weapons, except for, grenade launchers, before the DLC, is the Darcie, which is the Data Analysis, Reconnaissance, and Cooperative Intelligence Device. That's what Darcie stands for, by the way, but you can just call it Darcie. This weapon was incredibly bad and didn't seem to have any function anywhere in PvP or PvE. There just seemed to be better option all around. How do you make this weapon shine and become a new favorite? How about you give it 4 times the damage? One of its perks called Target Acquired, when the personal assistant is active, which basically means the enemy is highlighted with an outline of red, you get significantly more damage, and the patch note said 4 times damage. And lastly, this weapon has a catalyst. Go get it. It should improve the stats. It definitely can't hurt. And coming up at number 1, you guys know what weapon this is. Everybody loves this weapon, but it's so damn hard to get. The Sleeper Stimulate Exotic Linear Fusion Rifle. This is an insane damage whore. If you did not know, there's an exotic quest that is incredibly difficult. It takes 5 heroic events. It takes a bunch of precision kills. It takes a bunch of high value target kills. It takes a special strike. It takes 15 sleeper nodes, which is 60 fragments, and 1 patrol gives you 1 fragment, and 1 heroic public event gives you 3 fragments. It takes a really long time to get, and it definitely is worth the grind. This thing does so much damage. It actually, with a headshot on a boss, it does half the damage of a Celestial Nighthawk. And it has 8 shots in it. And then finally, it also has a catalyst. What else could you want in a damaging power weapon? This thing is insane. Now, if you want to be competitive with things like raids these days, at far range shots, at just killing big orange health enemies, Sleeper Stimulants is how you do it. And on top of that, it can also ricochet and kill yourself, and it's very fun to do that. I've killed myself on a Ward of Dyne with that Sleeper Stimulant in Destiny 1 so many damn times, because you're like slightly inside the shield, you fire it, and it just kills you because you shoot right into yourself. Oh, man. It also still ricochets and flies everywhere, too, so you might be able to get some saucy kills in the Crucible with collaterals, and on top of that, it one-shot body shots in the Crucible. Did I mention that? As like an afterthought, it one-shot body shots in the Crucible. This thing is insane. I highly recommend you check it out. You definitely should go get it. It is definitely worth the grind, and it definitely seems like something that might need a nerf pretty soon. Woo, that was 10 weapons you should definitely go get. Some honorable mentions include Sunshot, because it better explosions on the shot, as well as the Dragonfly. Very easy to use. Borealis, doing double damage after popping a shield type, is very nice. Tractor Cannon, doing extra 50% void damage when you hit it with an enemy, and it suppresses them, so when you boot people off the edge, they go off the edge. They can't just jump back. And then finally, the Kalos SMG makes it so it also has over-penetrating rounds and disruption break, where it basically increases your precision. Kinetic damage when you break an enemy shield with it, which would go really well, by the way, with the Titan legs. I think the Peacekeepers, where you switch between 2 SMGs back and forth, breaking shields and whatnot, it seems like it would be really nice. And that's it. That's all there is to this thing. I hope you guys did enjoy. I apologize for being so long. I wanted to explain as much as I could and give you some information about the weapons. Again, let me know if there's a weapon that you think I missed that would be very important to go get, that I should definitely track down and grind out for, or if there's a particular weapon in this lineup that you think should have been earlier. I know a lot of people are going to be like, Redrix's Claymore should be much higher, but nobody's used it, so we don't know yet. Anyways, that's the video for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name's been Dychronic. Like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.